Hi all, Maurice Kogan again, back with the answers to questions 31 and 32 of the 64 questions in my PDF document, Questions and Answers for Exporters and Export Counselors. These two questions both relate to how to respond to inquiries and close deals with potential foreign buyers. Question 31, how should you respond to general foreign inquiries? And question 32, how should you respond to a specific request for a price quote? Let's start with question 31. How should you respond to general foreign inquiries? Foreign inquiries are often unsolicited, but they could lead to an eventual export sale. In fact, prior research has found that a third of all exports started with an unsolicited foreign inquiry. Should you respond to every inquiry? No. Some may be fishing for information or for samples with no real intent to purchase or distribute, and it costs money to respond. If the request seems dubious, unprofessional, poorly written, boilerplate, etc., don't respond. If it appears legitimate, treat it like gold. Always remember that you're not the only game in town. It's usually a buyer's market, and foreign buyers particularly have many other options. If in doubt, err on the side of at least providing your standard letter and a link to your website, which should answer most questions. Hold off on sending costly samples until it's clear that the intent is serious. If so, you can follow up with more specific requests for price, delivery, and payment terms. Question 32. How should you respond to a specific request for a price quote? Ideally, your initial discussions with potential foreign buyers will lead to a request for quotation, an RFQ. An RFQ basically seeks your price, payment, and delivery terms for a specific quantity of goods. The price request might just be for your factory price if the buyer plans to pick up the goods there and pay all further delivery costs. More likely, the RFQ might be for the price delivered to the buyer's country or to some point in between, such as the port of exit. Each specified delivery point is defined by a three-letter acronym known as International Commercial Terms, Incoterm. Most common are EXW, ex-works, for price at the seller's premises, FAS or FOB, or price alongside or on board the vessel, or CIF, cost plus insurance and freight to the destination country. You already know your ex-works price. It's essentially your domestic sales price. However, if you don't know the additional costs to transport and insure the goods beyond the factory, ask your freight forwarder for all such added costs. The buyers understand that they must pay for any fees and or transport costs beyond the factory. An exporter typically responds to an RFQ with a price quotation that specifies the terms and conditions of sale, such as the price, quantity, HS code, payment method, appropriate Incoterm, and any discounted or freight charges. Alternatively, instead of a quotation, the foreign buyer might ask for a pro forma invoice. The two basically provide the same information, but foreign buyers may need the pro forma instead of a less formal quotation to get an import license or to open a letter of credit or to comply with certain exchange controls. Unless your product is a must-have with no other source, the buyer may well say your price is too high. Don't give up at that point. A deal might still be negotiable. You might be able to reduce the price to a still profitable level, or if not, you can try nice non-price reasons to buy your product, such as its greater functionality, durability, cost saving, just-in-time delivery, or some other attribute. If those don't work, and you can afford the cash flow hit, your most persuasive counter to price resistance would be to allow the buyer more time to pay, for example, 30 to 90 days after delivery. Don't be deterred by fear of not getting paid. You can purchase very low export credit insurance to protect against buyer default. Payment terms are another common negotiable issue. How and when you will get paid. You, the exporter, might start with, pay me all up front, while the buyer might start with, I'll pay you 30 to 90 days after I get the goods. If both stick with their starting points, no deal will result. If the deal is otherwise too good to pass up, one or the other might concede or accept somewhere in between. Well, that's it for responding to general inquiries and IRQs. In the next video, I'll cover question 33, what transaction documents are involved to close export deals, and 34, how can the process of exchanging documents be simplified and expedited? Until then, thanks for listening.